Hello, I'm Alex Mansfield, the host of Manny Talks Shooting, and welcome to another episode. This is the shooting podcast where I talk to individuals all across the shooting industry. We'll talk competition, self-defense, concealed carry. If you like this content, check out our YouTube channel, Manny Talks Shooting. And without further ado, let's get to this episode. Manny Talks Shooting is proudly presented to you by D2 Custom Guns. Did you know that Phil the Groundhog isn't the only thing Puxatawny, Pennsylvania is famous for? That's right, D2 Custom Guns, the home of Dan Heizenreiter and one of the best, fabulous 2011 builders in the country. So make sure you guys go check him out, D2 Custom, anywhere you can see him on the social media, Facebook, Instagram, go check him out. If you see myself, Patches Reader, anyone with the D2 Custom Guns, make sure you go check him out, and you will thank me later. Now, let's get on to the show. Welcome, everybody. Welcome back to another installment of Manny Talks Shooting, the shooting podcast on the internet, because that's where you freaks absorb content. I mean, just so you know, it's the 19th of January. TikTok was banned. TikTok is unbanned. You don't know what's going on. That's why it's on the internet. Without further, I got to present and tell you that the show is brought to you by D2 Custom Guns, fabulous 2011s. Buy one now. Thank me later. The off season is ending sooner than you think, even though it's freaking cold and it sucks. Anyway, without further ado, we're going to talk to the guy I will say who is my cousin Vinny, but he's really not my cousin. It's Vinny DeYarmon. How you doing, Vinny?
Good, man. How are you?
Doing pretty good. Have you seen my cousin Vinny before?
Of course.
Okay.
Everyone makes the reference. So
see,
I'm more than happy to oblige the fantasy. If you want a cousin Vinny, I'll be your cousin Vinny.
I mean, but are you going to be a lawyer and wear a leather jacket into a court?
I mean, he was never a lawyer to begin with, so sure, I can pretend to be a lawyer for a little bit.
There you go. That's all. That's funny. That was a good movie. I love that.
Classic.
It is a classic. The wife's always mad whenever I'm like, "Oh, look at my cousin Vinny," and I just sit there and watch it for about 20 minutes and then change the channel.
Yeah.
Like she's like, "You're not gonna finish it?" No, I've seen the good parts. Moving on.
To what?
To what? Two utes? What's a ute? It's okay. You got your Uncle Donnie and you're my cousin Vinny, so it works out, right?
Yep.
But
Yep.
It's been a minute. This will be like episode 194, I think, or 195 by the time I figure out what number's what.
Yeah.
You haven't been on since episode 101, so.
Yeah, it was you let me grace you for your, over 100th episode, so that was cool, and we're in a different place then, and I was pretty sure I was just like in the garage at one point, and then the lights kept going out, and then I had to go to the kitchen, and not the most professional podcast, I would say, but we're up here. We're in the studio today with you, and you got your legit little studio too. So
I mean, if you
make
can call
make
for a good show. I don't
make for a good show.
I don't think I could call it a real studio since I do share the room with my dog. At least you have a whole dedicated space.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay. There's Longenberger baskets hanging. Oh, there's my finger over there. That way. Longenberger baskets.
Have you seen the Longenberger basket in Ohio?
No, but I've grown up with enough Longenberger baskets to know that it is a place in Ohio, and it's sitting there empty now.
So where we go to shoot our little I'll have to send you the link to the YouTube, shameless plug, where we go shoot our weekly USPSA stage over at our buddies at Buckeye Shooting Center. They're right next to the Longenberger basket headquarters. That is where used to be where they used to conduct business. So pretty cool spectacle for sure. That's very interesting. Why do you have baskets?
My wife is a collector.
Okay.
Now
you need to take her to the Longenberger basket. You can actually go and tour it.
Oh, there we go. Yeah, no, so smartly enough, I forgot to move the basket stack that's on that hook thing over to the other side of the room where you can't see it, but out of frame, right where about my hand is a shelf full of baskets.
Nice.
People wouldn't know until I said anything, but it's okay. It's from Ohio. That's you know where that's at.
Yep.
But anywho, it's been a minute. I'm surprised you don't have a dog barking at you when you're trying to do this now.
Yeah, the dogs are. I'm in the studio, like I said, in the new soon to be shop for Monsoon. There is a dog in the other room, but I'm not sure if you're going to be able to hear him through the mic. And then my other two dogs are in the house across the street. So we'll see. If you hear a dog, then that's the other one in the shop.
Yeah, because you said it was the live You did like what, maybe a week or so ago, and the
Yep.
he just like shut up.
Yeah. Yeah, but like I said, I was just on my phone, so it was probably, phones just pick up all the extra raw audio, but with the mic, maybe we won't hear too much other stuff. So we'll see. He's
We'll
not
see.
barking right now, so we're good.
Yeah, exactly. But so yeah, so you said Monsoon's gonna move into the shop, right? So you're gonna move locations again.
We never moved,
Okay.
so we've been in the same place for the last 5 years now, coming on 6. And we just finalized our new lease for just a 2 year. So after those 2 years are up, probably June 2026, I think, is when it is up. We will be moving to this new shop that is 10 yards away from my house. So long gone are the days of driving hour there, hour back. Paid my dues, so I can now just wake up and walk to work. So it'll be nice.
So how does that affect the rest of Team Monsoon, at least in the shop? Was their
Um,
drive better?
their drive will be, depending on how you look at it. Zach, my business partner, the drive will pretty much be the same. For my machinist, right now, it'll probably be the same. He has some other plans in the future that could put him about an hour away, but we'll see how those pan out for him. Um, and then Taylor will probably be about an hour, but there's also potential for him to be moving out this way as well. So everyone's on board. Everyone understands why we're doing it. I'm just tired of not knowing where the future of the business is going to be because of the building that we've been leasing. Since we've been doing this, is kind of like just an unknown for us. The landlord is playing kind of some games, and at first we did want to buy it, and she said, "Sure, I'll sell it to you," but then was just doing the whole, girl that you liked but won't actually like date you, but drags you along kind of thing. So I just said,
Mm,
I'm done with this. Bought a house, just so happened to have a shop on it, and yeah, we'll be moving here sometime in 2026.
gotcha. Do you have to do a bunch of electrical upgrades to the shop?
We'll see. So, it's definitely going to need some accoutrements put in with the building that we're in now. We have 3-phase. I'm not 100% sure that this place has that, but luckily enough for us, right? We got a lot of clients that also are, handymen and tradesmen. So we know a electrician and we know an HVAC guy and all those other people to help us out. So the plan is to get that all ready before we even consider having to move. So now that we know that we can come here, we can just like slowly plan, put things together, and slowly move over. It's not going to be like okay, we have to move out today, let's go. It's going to be, we're going to slowly move things over here as we, kind of get ready for it. So,
Well, gotcha. It makes more sense that way, and you're able to scale and plan that way when you do it step by step.
yep. So just a better financial spot to be in, and a move for the business more than anything. We'll actually be in a smaller shop, quote unquote. But if you haven't been to the one we work out of now, uh, I hate to say this, I might kick myself later, but we have too much space. Um, we're just so spread out. There's stuff everywhere. This will be more consolidated. It'll be ours so that we can actually plan out and build the things that we want to. Because we try not to sink any money into the other place that we don't have to, because we're not going to get anything back from it. So with this place, we'll be able to really make like a good flow and synergy kind of setup here. So we'll have more than enough space to operate, but we'll be downsizing for sure as far as square footage.
Yeah, but that's not a bad thing either. Like you said, you're a little too far spread out. You really can't change any location of anything at the moment. So
Yep.
it makes sense. It makes sense. Dog noise. Some weird dog noise I was hearing. It was like it was crinkling
Ah,
something.
you just edit that out. It'll be fine.
Yeah, it'll be okay. Or not. Just leave it in because I'm lazy.
Yeah.
It was funny. Somebody
Keep.
commented the other day about dog noise, and I'm like, that's what happens when you have dogs.
Yep. Yep.
But that's gonna be cool to see when you move into the shop. So, do you currently when you do a video like you're shooting like you did the G26, was that at your place or was that somewhere else?
So obviously the background, the in studio stuff was here. All the shooting that I do is at the other shop. We actually have like a 20-foot wide berm that's probably about 8 foot tall, just enough for us to be able to shoot safely back there. Can't do anything crazy, but for static stuff, a little bit of lateral stuff, we can do that there. But all the shooting that I do in the videos as of now are at the old shop still. So,
Gotcha.
but this is the actual backdrop for the YouTube content and other stuff that's in, the new shop.
Well, yeah, you got to have a swanky wall. I mean,
Yeah.
like, yeah, it's still going to be hard to beat Roger's wall, though.
Rogers wall. I mean, just Rogers' collection is nuts, right? So it's pretty wild. I talk to him all the time. He'll FaceTime me, and it's insane his his setup. So I got stuff everywhere too. I'm kind of falling under the same trap as him, and what I have up here is just like you can't show everything off, so I like move things and cycle stuff, and there's always a different gun on the wall every week. So if people
It,
start noticing that or not.
yeah, I noticed that your open gun moved because I think like last year live, it was like behind your head, or would it
Yeah,
be respectively behind your head? And then you
yeah,
realized
that's
you couldn't get the damn thing out of the wall.
yeah. I can get it out now. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, it's just a
So
rifle blocking it. So,
yeah.
but that ain't bad. No, he's got so many guns. How many guns do you think you've modified for Roger?
Ooh, I don't know.
I want to bet at least 100.
Good handful of them for sure. I mean, Roger's been a very good partner with us. Um, he gives us feedback. He gives, produces content for us. I know now even more that doing that kind of stuff is not, cheap, and not even on the monetary side. Like it's just like your time, your investment to, film, edit, whatever money's involved to make the video. So he's been very helpful with pushing content for us because we weren't really in the YouTube space um, up until recently, obviously, but we weren't in the YouTube space for the longest time. So to have that kind of relationship where he's able to, obviously have some knowledge in the space as well as a good following to do some reviews and stuff of our modifications and things like that, it's been very beneficial. So um, definitely, Roger's definitely a good dude to have as a friend and a peer for sure.
Yeah, that is definitely cool. I just watched a video of his where he went to Japan again.
Yeah. Last time I talked to him, I was joking. I was like, all right, man. So like, you going to be selling off QVO and everything else and moving to Japan? And he's like, maybe.
Mhm.
So yeah.
That would be pretty cool. I mean, do you want to own a holster business too?
Nah, man, I don't know. His holster business, probably it'd be very lucrative, I think. There's so many companies out there, man. Like, as much as you've seen in the circuits and stuff. Like, if you get into a niche or get a good enough, audience or customer base, and you make it as a Kydex guy, you make it for sure. So, um, there's definitely some money to be made in Kydex. I just don't know if it's my kind of gig, for sure.
Yeah. Well, shit, he's got a whole work crew who work for him, which is crazy. It's like,
Hmm.
you think of that and where you started as a one man garage. I mean, too, you started as a one person gig probably
Yep.
doing your thing, and then you have eventually they're like, well, I need another body, and then
Yep.
you expand to that, and then you're like, how am I going to pay the bills, right? It's like,
Yeah.
and it's crazy because I don't even think does Roger even make holsters anymore, or is it everyone else making
Every
holsters?
once in a while, man, I think, and I'm kind of going down the same path, right? Like he obviously, I think he's been in business a little like at 10 years or maybe just a little over 10 years now.
Hmm.
And you know, just like you said, he started out, guarantee you started out just doing them for himself and then for other people, and then grew the business, and now he's got employees and stuff. And the way I see it anyway is his role is more focused on the marketing side of things for sure. I mean, I've seen him go in and get down on the shop for sure. I'm sure he still does, but not near what he used to be. He's got other people grinding for him now,
Hmm.
kind of like I do. So that's, like I said, been getting pushed more into that, face of the business, marketing, social media, business to business kind of stuff role, and getting less and less out of the trenches as like I have Taylor and Zane and those guys to kind of help drive the wheels. And we're going to still need more people as we grow. So it's
Right.
always hard finding the right fit. So
Yeah. Now, have you found it difficult to kinda let go of the day-to-day reins of cutting and coding?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, that was, when we first started, as Monsoon specifically, and it was just, Zane, me, and Zach, and we only grew well, we had one other guy that was coding for us, but he was kind of like a, part-time dude that was a good friend of mine, and he even told me, he's like, "Hey, don't have much more time doing this." He's an older gentleman, so he's like, I think it's time for me to slowly step away. When you're ready, just let me know, but I'm not going to be here forever. So when the search kind of started, but didn't really have to look too hard, Taylor came to me.
Mhm.
Super hungry kid, right? It's very hard to find that kind of mentality now, especially in the younger generation of people. To have someone like basically door knock, and say like, "I want to do this. Here's what I can have to offer you." And um, at first, it wasn't so much just Taylor. It was just me accepting the fact that I'm going to have to hire someone to help take things off of my plate and share all of the knowledge that I've gained over the years of doing this on my own. Figuring out the hard way, to share that knowledge freely with someone so that they can help do my job and take over certain things that I've, grown over the years to do, right? So that part was hard, but as soon as kind of Taylor came into the fold in general, and it didn't take long, I was more than willing and happy to share as much as I could with that kid, because he's just built different, right? He told me one day that he hates not having anything to do. And if his day to day routine grind or flow gets messed up in any way, it kind of bums him out. So it's been once he kind of came on board, I had no issues showing him, you know, how to do certain things, and he's been wanting to take more and more off my plate and do them himself. And he's pretty much how I was when I started doing all this on my own at a pretty high level, I would say, and he's getting there. So he'll eventually replace me completely, and then we'll have to find another one to kind of come in underneath him and learn all the other stuff as well. So
Mm.
it's been great. He's been a very good piece of the puzzle for us, as everyone else in the business, So it's been pretty good.
That is pretty good. It's good to see, you're doing the right thing for your business to be able to grow by, training him and then have to find another dude,
Hmm.
and when it comes time, but it's good to see that, which is nice when you're able to spend your time creatively, marketing or doing videos and whatnot.
Yeah.
I'm assuming that's been a giant learning curve for you really to do the whole YouTube thing?
It has, but it hasn't. And I say that because I've dabbled in my younger years, in the YouTube space. It's not new to me, but it's also very it's something I haven't done in a long time. And then just social media in general, I feel like at least in our industry, in our space, I have a pretty decent pulse on the industry as a whole, and just like the content that I need to make, and understanding how to make that content. The biggest struggle has been balancing, because I still have to do the day to day grind. I'm not at the point where I can stop doing it, right? There's still a good laundry list of things that I personally have to attend to. Like Taylor can't do every single thing yet, right? So trying to balance, when I said, when everyone's like, you need to into YouTube, I was like, I know, I just don't have time. That was my excuse. I don't have time. Um, and then when I finally said, you know what, I just need to start doing it, I was thinking too much into, well, what am I going to talk about? How am I going to edit the videos? Like, I don't know too much about that side of it. I just know how to piece together content and kind of like a more director's cut, raw, choppy kind of stuff, with the memes laced in and all stuff like that. But
Mhm.
personally, I think that's the shift of that style of content is more what people are into now anyway. They're not into there's still people into it, but like the big cinematic, T-Rex arms, Call of Duty music in the background, Gucci camera angles, and super high def 4K stuff, um, I don't think I need to do that. So again, kind of answer your question, the biggest thing for me was just finding the time to balance everything together and try to, my goal, to put out a video every week. So at first it started out like videos would post on Fridays, and now I'm saying more Sundays now. Sunday evenings is when I think the best time for me to post is, because I have some time to get the content, edit it down, watch it, and then post it. So as of now, been consistent video a week since we started.
There you
So,
go.
Yep.
That's always the cool thing. Being the consistency is the hardest thing to build, I think, when it comes to being a content creator, is finding the rhythm that works for you.
Yeah.
I post a podcast a week. I didn't think I was going to do a podcast a week when I first started. I was like, I'm going to do every other week. And then people are like, we want more. We want more. So then you go to one every other week. You go to one a week, and then you just make it happen. Like, I've been consistent since episode 50.
Yeah.
Like, I haven't missed a week. I could think about it when I started in February. I think February 9th, 2021, when I started this. If I had been consistent every week, there'd be way more shows now. But
yeah, and like you said, man, it was kind of like a I had to look at it differently, right? Because I built my Instagram, and I even have to think about that a little bit more in perspective too. Like I started doing the monsoon page and the Instagram page back in like 2016. If I had to dig back far enough, I'm pretty sure it's like when I first posted on the monsoon tactical Instagram page, and it was like kind of like part of my personal, like super personal life. Like I was posting stuff about my day job and some gun stuff, and like the videos were crap and the pictures were horrible. To like where it is now, um, little over 44,000 followers and a very good, healthy page, and how much traction that page itself generates for the business, to then going over to ground zero basically at YouTube and having to build that from nothing. So my expectations kind of had to like shift, knowing like, hey, you're starting from nothing, you're not going to get the same amount of views, not the same amount of likes, all that other stuff. A lot of people are going to be crossing over from Instagram. It's going to take some time to build this. So once I kind of had that expectation, just seeing, a couple thousand views on a video got me fired up to keep doing them, and then we've had some that have been over 10,000 views, which is awesome. We're getting all the proper things that you need for monetization. If we'll stay monetized, I don't know if we even will, just depending on the content we make, right? But I can see like that kind of stuff got me fired up, got me really into really pushing hard into the content, kind of like you saw there was a demand for it. So it kind of makes you want to stay consistent for sure.
Well, and yeah, while you were talking, I decided I'd go subscribe to Mountain Tactical Vinny DeYarmon on YouTube.
Oh my God, he didn't subscribe.
Oh my gosh. You know how many people still, it's going to be ridiculous. People still won't subscribe. And then you'll be like, why do 80% of my viewers not fucking subscribe to my videos?
Yeah. I posted or made that a little segment recently in the videos, and like post the analytics and stuff. Like there's like 80% people that watch aren't subscribed. So
yeah, well, and it's probably one of those gun dudes that I don't know if you generate a view if, like, how like on the main page, like videos will just start playing if you're hovering over them long enough.
Yep.
And that's where I'm betting a lot of that comes from. I mean, that's just my guess. I don't work for YouTube. Fuck if I wish I did. I mean, I'd be fucking pumping my videos up like a motherfucker.
I don't know. You have your YouTube too, but I thought there was an analytic that showed you how long most people were viewing the video for.
Oh, they do. Let's see.
So, but yeah, there's a good chance that that's definitely a thing. But then you start really digging into the analytics, like if you start to understand them a little bit, and you're just like, well, the math doesn't add up too much, because it's just like this video got so many watch hours and views. Like you start to potentially break down the math and see how many people were watching it and for how long. So it's hard telling. Sometimes I don't think the analytics are 100% correct. So
yeah, like, so my latest podcast, I just pulled it up. My latest podcast was like a 2 hour and 8 minute show, right?
yeah.
So my average view duration on YouTube was 22 minutes and 36 seconds. So that doesn't equate to the people who watched it all to the end, which was 11%, like 10 to 11% of total views that watched on YouTube from start to finish.
Yeah.
When
yeah, and podcasts are it's hard telling too, because I'm guilty of this 100%. Is just like you put on a podcast, especially if you're at work or something. I can do it more freely because obviously I'm the boss, and then what we're doing doesn't really require us to have like not have headphones in and listen to stuff. But I'll listen to a podcast, and it might take me 2-3 days, depending on how long it is, to finish it. Right, if I'm engaged with it, right. So it's hard telling with those longer podcasts, like how long people stick to it and then come back and then stick to it and then come back.
Oh yeah, like myself, like I listen to every podcast on 2 times speed. Nothing against people talking slow. I just don't like I don't like the slow talking. It's just how I am. I don't know if it's how my brain's wired, but
Yeah.
I listen typically there's about a 4-hour podcast I'll listen to once a week. And it has to be on 2 times speed because I'd never listen to it if it was actually 4 hours. Well, it's a narrative. It's almost like an audiobook with like interaction. So I'm a nerd, right? You're a nerd, right? You're just a different type of nerd. I'm a D&D nerd. I love D&D. I don't get to play as much as I don't get to play at all really since COVID. Fuck you, COVID. Screwing everything over. But I listen to Critical Role. It's a D&D podcast. Nerdy ass voice actors play D&D once a week. And their shows can go anywhere from 3.5 hours to 4.5 hours. And I'm like, I don't have time to listen to you breathe. So 2 times speed.
It's so funny to yeah. I mean, I'd never played D&D. I'm definitely more of a nerd than some people may think, because like especially in the YouTube space, I've been sprinkling in my weirdness.
Yeah.
If you know me well enough, I'm not a normal guy. I feel like a lot of people, and that's aided us in businesses too, right? There's a level to it, but still, like I think a lot of people in the 2A industry or just the shooting industry in general are too macho. They're afraid to show the weird side. I don't care. I'll show it. So, but it's like I said, it's kind of funny how. Have you ever watched like Papa Meat or Meat Canyon?
Yeah. I believe so.
He does the cartoons and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But he was kind of going over it. But all of like the weird nerdy stuff that people were ashamed of back when they were younger is like cool now. So like everyone's into D&D and Pokemon cards and all the nerdy things, and like it's the thing to do now. So
it's the dude with the Costco. Oh, the Costco. Oh my god, where he
Yeah.
sells his kid for his bigger
Yeah.
membership.
That YouTube channel is great. The Papa Meat one's great. That's like his like actual personal like YouTube stuff. His content's great. Like I could watch any of it and be entertained. It's great.
Yeah. Now,
You're welcome.
Yeah, there you go. Something else to dive down into. But yeah, you're right. Like things that were nerdy back in the day, like Magic.
They're cool now.
Yeah, Magic the
Yeah,
Gathering
they're cool
is not creepy. It's called pop culture. God damn it, people. Get educated. But anywho, yeah, like now this is a better question. You have guns behind you, but where's all the waifu dolls at?
I don't have it. I'm not that weird. I don't have any of the actual life size dolls here.
You don't have like no waifu action figures on a shelf?
No, that sounds like a good product though. Like we'll start our own little line of waifu action figures.
Oh hell yeah! I mean,
yeah,
your shirts are pretty cool.
Yeah, I mean, I love anime.
Mm-hmm.
I don't watch it or get it like as much as I used to, but it was definitely something I would watch more often than not back not too long ago, but before I got married.
Yeah,
and I was super single. I did watch a lot of anime and growing up as well. So
what was the number one anime?
Like ever?
Yeah, for you, which one was it?
Ever. Man, that's a tough one. If I had to just shoot from the hip, I would probably say like Samurai X, Ronin Kenshin series, like from the 90s. That's probably one of my favorites. I could watch that indefinitely all the time. So,
what was Ronin Kenshin? God damn it! What was that about?
He was like the wandering samurai that had a dark past, and it's like
the backwards blade, right?
Yeah, the reverse blade guy.
Yep, I remember that one. That was good. God, if I'm gonna have to pick one, Ooh, it's probably. I'm gonna throw it out. I'm gonna throw two of them. I guess it's either Naruto Shippuden or Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood.
Yeah, those are good ones. Those are like kind of the same. Like you could just watch those over and over.
Mm-hmm.
Yu Yu Hakusho was good.
Yep.
Seven Deadly Sins is another good one that's more modern.
I haven't
There's
seen
a
that
lot
at
of
all
good
yet.
ones now. That one's a good one. It's a newish one. I think it came out maybe like 3 or 4 years ago. So
You ever seen Fairy Tale?
I don't think so. No.
You gotta dabble into that one. Oh god. Then there was what, Knights of the Zodiac? That was an anime.
Mm-hmm.
There
There's so
was
many of them, man.
Shaman King
Like
was good.
there's
I was the weird nerd kid who would go rent the graphic novels out of the library and then be pissed when somebody had the next the next number in the line. I'm like, you motherfuckers, I'm gonna hurt you. And then they learned that they got to get 2 copies of like every one. So that's just me, and that's how I don't read really, but I will read a graphic novel. Damn it,
yeah. Everyone likes mangas.
yeah,
Like I said, all that stuff is cool and in now. It
yeah.
wasn't back
It's
in the day
popular
when we
now.
were
It's not the
so
creepy guy who
yeah.
kept to themselves.
Yeah. It went back when I was in school, you never told anybody you did that kind of stuff. So now it's
Yeah,
cool.
yeah. And then you talk to these kids nowadays that like, oh, they read like, look at me, I'm reading. They've got like, oh, what was it? There was a young kid who came over to the house the other day with a family member, and they had like a Naruto, bracelet or some piece of jewelry on. I'm like, oh, so you like Naruto? Or it was like the Akatsuki logo or something. It's like, what's that? I'm like, what the fuck? I was
Just has
like,
it because it looks cool.
exactly. And then I'm like, God damn it, you fucking ruined everything.
Yeah.
Mainstream, fucking Five Below.
Yeah. Yeah.
Five Below's got everything though. You ever been to a Five Below?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's like a modern Dollar General.
Kinda, but for like pop culture and bullshit.
Yeah. Yeah. It's like a G-rated Hot Topic. How's that?
Yeah. Well, yeah, pretty much.
Kind
And
of.
then like a hot topic was like a PG-13 Spencer's.
Yeah. Yeah.
People don't even know what Spencer's is anymore.
I don't know, man. Hot Topic's getting kind of risky now. I thought I saw like, sex toys and stuff there before.
Wait, well, we don't have any hot topics near us. All of them closed down.
There's still a couple here.
Oh, okay. Yeah, where the emo kids had to go for their clothes.
Yeah.
They did have good T-shirts, though. I will say that.
Yeah.
You want any band tee? That's where you went. But if you want hot ladies on your T-shirts, you go to Mayfu Tendencies.
Yes.
And get you a T-shirt. Except I don't think I could buy any of these because my wife would be pissed that I actually wore them out in public.
Well, there's a couple of them on there that aren't so bad.
No, yeah, Genghis Comp is probably the best one to wear out in public with a lady friend.
Yeah, it's not bad.
Which shirt's your favorite?
My favorite shirt probably would be the Genghis Comp shirt. Recoil Deletus is definitely one that's like more than serviceable for the public. If you care, I don't care.
But you
If I
also are
wear
wearing
it,
a hat that says titties right now, and I've been like, I want that hat.
yeah. Yeah, this hat's awesome. My buddy Seth Feroci over at Axe and Sledge and All American Roughneck, that's his apparel brand. They did these hats, and I bought one, and it's obviously a play on the Titleist hat for golfers. So I wear I was like, first of all, fit like mint. Love the way it fits. I'm trying to get these hats like for us, but I'll wear this hat all the time, and most people don't notice it. They think it's a Titleist hat. And then we'll get some people that'll be like,
Can't notice it, people who listen.
Does that say titties? And I'm just like, yeah. He's like, nice.
Right?
Yeah, most of them are. It's always funny too when I'm like, if there's a female or something and they notice it, they'll either give me like a weird look or smile or something. So it's pretty funny.
Yeah, it's if you know kind of people, right?
Yeah. Yeah, but I personally not it's not like anything. They're risky for sure, but they're not like graphic in any way, shape, or form.
No,
I would think.
they're tasteful, but they're
Yeah.
not. They're like I wasn't married, I'd be having all of them, and I'd wear them to work, and people would be like, "Hell yeah!" The shit you can wear to work or to the range when you're going to practice by yourself, not
Yeah.
necessarily like there's shirts like gun company shirts that you just can't wear out in public, right?
Hmm.
Like my D2 Customs, I have a hoodie and a t-shirt, and like I think I'm actually wearing the t-shirt, but yes, I am. Which literally has like a 2011, like at the 4 o'clock position, like you'd carry it like on your
Yeah.
back. Wore it to work one day, and one guy's like, "Man, for 1 minute I actually thought you were carrying a gun." I'm like, "Oh, I am wearing that shirt. It does have this back here. I don't know if I like that. I mean,
Yeah.
I like the shirt, but it's also like." And I told the guy, like, "You wouldn't, even if I was carrying a gun, you wouldn't have known."
Hmm. Yeah. The shirts that we sell are they're obviously they're branding for the company. They're definitely like gun shirts, right? There's waifus holding guns and stuff like that. But like at the same time, it's especially now again. I don't think in public most people would 100% look at that and be like, "That's a gun shirt." They would be like, "That's an anime shirt."
Yes, exactly.
She just so happens to be holding a gun, right? So which also isn't unrealistic in an anime for them to have a gun. So it's kind of like a chameleon shirt. Those who know, but those in the public are just either like, "Oh, it's a anime girl on the back of a shirt. I wonder what anime that's from."
Right.
So I've had plenty of people ask me about that before. I'm just like, "Nah, this is my brand. This is part of my branding and stuff." Like, "Oh, for real? Cool." So
Yeah, I love the Genghis Khan back of the shirt. I just wish it had the updated green Team Monsoon tactical on the front, but it doesn't match that way. That's just me
yeah,
personally. Green's the
yeah,
tits. Like,
yeah. Green's my color. I mean, I got the backdrop is green. Well, the lights are green on the backdrop, and then obviously the green. I could probably have the Team Monsoon redone in the red. That'd be a good idea.
it would be.
Yeah, yeah. Because I mean, I can just have it redone in whatever color for sure.
Yep. Rich, what are you doing, bro? Looking out the
Oh,
window.
there's somebody out there.
It's usually like the in town deer that he's
Yeah,
noticing.
yeah.
You see, you could have a green microphone cover. You could have a green grip keeper. You could have
So you like the green too?
a green cup.
Yeah, yeah.
Another green cup. Another green cup. Yes, dude, neon green's the shit. Like, particularly neon green. I would used to be an OD green or like olive drab green, and I'm like, no.
Yeah, neon green's cool. I'll be sure to get you some Team Monsoon swag because we do sell these without any risky chicks on it. So
Yeah, risky chicks are still hot though.
yeah, yeah.
Okay,
Your inner nerds calling to you.
dude, there's nothing wrong with being an inner nerd. It's cool, but yeah, like you said, back in the day, it's like don't share your nerdiness.
Yep, yep.
Well, it depends on what nerdiness it was too. Like,
Yeah, there's still levels to it for sure.
yeah,
Yeah, yeah. I'm not like a simp moderator or anything like that, but
yeah. Just check your Reddit, your subreddits.
yeah.
You even on Reddit?
I read it as like the least favorite place I like going. It's such a cesspool, but most of the time, nothing but good things on our end, at least from the business side in Reddit. But
Hmm.
at the same time, like there's always it's just like people are I don't even know. Like Reddit's an interesting place.
Oh yeah, very interesting place. I go to mostly gun subreddits like our guns, our like concealed carry, like our competition shooting, our USPSA. I keep it kind of vanilla on Reddit because you start going off the vanilla path and it gets pretty
Gets
interesting.
pretty weird. Gets pretty weird pretty quick. Yep.
Yeah. So of course my watch told me to stand, and I'm like, no, I'm not going to stand.
I've
This is not the
I've been
exercise
standing
time.
the whole time, man.
There you go. You just need a
Good.
lifty desk.
It's good for you. I actually I started standing at work again. I used to, and then I started sitting, and I started having neck issues, so I started standing again recently. So
Yeah.
it's been very, very beneficial for sure.
Yeah, I have a very desk at work, and it's quite nice for like the first half of the day. Well, I'll get there about 5:45 in the morning. So from that point until like the 9 a.m. morning call, the morning staff call, I'll stand when I'm working. Then I'll sit down for the call. But and then I try to stand up after lunch just to kind of mix it out in the middle of the day, and at the end of the day, stand up. And like the days that I'm sitting all day, it's kind of my back's killing me. Like today, after
Yeah.
I told you I sat on that board meeting,
Mhm.
and then my back's been bothering me, my lower back, just
Yeah.
because sitting too long
Yeah,
sucks.
it's not good to sit for long periods of time, man. There's like a lot of studies showing how that like how sitting all the time is like good causes for like heart attacks and strokes and stuff because you're not getting circulation to your legs, so it's kind
hmm
of bad. So yeah, I was same thing. I was having just neck issues because when I sit, I'm all hunched over, so it was not good on the neck. So I was like, I got to start standing up again. So
Yeah. Ooh. Oh, so I'll dabble back to this because this is pretty cool. Well, it's pretty cool. It's behind you. Which is gun on the wall right now is you're most proud of, like a paint job or whatnot, or work done to it.
oh, hmm. Probably. I mean, on the wall, I don't know. I mean, this one's pretty cool. The anime one. I
Oh
can
yeah,
grab it real quick.
the initial D, right?
Yeah. I'll take you along for the ride. Let me see here. This one's been, yeah, it's definitely one of the cooler ones for sure. So
Ooh, it's got that teal, white, purple. It's got is that a cat
it's got a
or is that a
cat
rope?
on it.
Oh, it is a cat. Okay, that is pretty dope.
So the goal for this, because it is ported, get a non-ported barrel and start shooting limb ops with this year. So everyone on the monsoon in the monsoon shop right now is on a warpath to compete this year. So
do you have paid dry fire time?
no, not really. I mean, if they want to, they can. I'm a pretty chill boss, honestly. So I know Zach has been dry firing. He's actually the one who was like, "Hey, I want to get after it this year." You know, at first, well, it still probably is, but at first, you know, like last year, 2024, his heart was really in to the long range space, and he wanted to compete there as much as he could. But realistically, out in Ohio and the Midwest in general, not much long range stuff is to be had out here. So didn't really get as much time behind the bolt gun as he wanted. So he came to me and he's like, "Hey, this is more realistic. We can actually go shoot matches. I want to do this." At first his goal was like, "I want to make masterclass." Um, I was like, "It's achievable for you, as long as you've been shooting with me, and if we decide we want to go that route and dedicate that much time, I don't think it's impossible. I don't know if you'll make it in 2025, but not an impossible goal." But then he actually said he changed his goals for the year, and his goals for the year is just to learn and collect as many alphas as possible. And when he came in and was like, "I'm ready to go," Taylor, with pretty much very little match experience. By little, I mean I think he's only shot maybe 2 or 3 matches in total since he's been part of our team, and just practical shooting in general. Right, he's never had the kind of practical shooting experience that we're used to as far as running around and shooting at IPSCs and stuff like that. Um, he wanted to get into it too, and with the same expectations. So I automatically said, "Okay, well I'm in because I can't be letting you two get better than me."
Right.
So after like I would say a 5 year hiatus of not really competing, I'm getting back into it as well. So, and by that I mean putting on an OWB belt, with all the gamer stuff, shooting actual like division legal guns and not shooting open minor with our stuff. So actually getting back into it and chasing after different mentality, but chasing after the letter, right? And competing at a higher level and shooting majors and stuff is the plan. So
Right, which is pretty cool is that you've all decided you want to do this and you get back into it. It'll be a nice side path to go down for Team Monsoon. You've got the core team. You got Tanner and Ryan and Master Pete, because he's always Master Pete.
yep.
But
He'll be Master Pete even when he makes GM. So
see, just because he's a grandmaster doesn't mean he won't be a master.
right. Yep.
Although I told him, like, bro, get rid of those goddamn bumpy things. I was always angry when I see Pete shooting production or something. It's like, bro, you're shooting against you and like 2 other bros.
Yeah, he I don't know when because at first he started shooting a Beretta and then he started shooting the Shadow 2. He said he had fun. He was just enjoying it. I think he was getting burnt out with CO and he just wanted something to kind of reinvigorate his love for the sport. And now he put a dot on a CZ and he's trucking along back in CO. So maybe he needed that. Maybe shooting production iron sights gave him something he was missing in CO. So maybe he'll come back stronger and push through that final 5% or whatever that he needs.
Oh yeah, 100%. It'd be nice to see. Although
Yeah.
Pete, you still have to come on the podcast, bro.
I'll get him on there. I got a couple people that you can get on here if you are looking for people to talk to. I'll get you with Zach, with Taylor, I'll make sure Pete comes on here.
Yeah.
And whoever, if you need people to fill. So I know, like you said, consistency and sometimes getting people to talk to is pretty hard. So
Thank you for checking out another episode of Manny Talks Shooting. I greatly appreciate it. And if you could do me a favor, please go patronize our partners when you are available. We have always, as the title sponsor, D2 Custom Guns. We've got Outdoor Dynamics, Make Stuff Better, 2 Alpha Apparel, Range Panda, Laugh and Load, Hunters HD Gold, and Southern Bobby Q. Now, thank you. Let's get on with this episode. Well, yeah, and there are people like, nobody wants to hear from me. I'm like, no, there's always a story to be told with even like people. Like I remember one of my first couple episodes, I had like a CED class shooter on here. He's one of my best buds now. But I mean, we don't talk as much as we'd like, but seeing his progression is super cool now. Like, came on the show and he's like, like, I'm glad you made me do that. I'm like, yeah, it's not hard to sit down and talk to somebody, just have a conversation. Like, just because there's a little light here and a blinky thing over here doesn't mean that it's anything special. I mean, it's fun. It's how we share our stories. Yeah. Now, where's your boy Austin at?
Man, he's just been super busy. I mean, last time I saw him was at demo day. Haven't really talked to him too much since then, just here and there on the internet, but really haven't talked to him much. I mean, I just know he's super busy with his job. He's got a pretty interesting job. He's in medical sales, so he's pretty busy, especially being up in the Cleveland area. So, he's another one that's kind of like, if he really wanted to dial in and compete, he'd be really good, I think. So it'll take it at some point, maybe with us all getting into it this year, maybe he'll push in and start doing it again as well too. So, like I said, man, we've been shooting matches, but nothing to really write home about. We do pretty decent with where we come from and what we do, and most of the time I'm shooting from appendix with our guns to kind of prove the fact that what we're doing is usable things for whatever you want to use it for. So maybe going back more into shooting these guns with no comps or ports or anything, will also give us another insight and appreciation for innovation if we need to. And maybe we start getting into doing more actual competition style guns as far as building those again. We used to do that, but with the desire for guns like we build, the ports, the comps, the stuff, very hot right now. They've been hot for a while. When they'll cool down, I don't know. So it's probably going to be around for a little bit longer, especially since the OEMs are starting to offer a lot of, what we do, third party straight from them. But like I said, I think, going into these stock guns are going to be fun. So again, I'll shoot limb ops, but for now, oddly enough, I'm going to be shooting a Beretta.
Yeah, because you mentioned that it was like the most grip angle-ish, like a 2011.
Yeah, it's very similar. And it's a hammer gun. That's what I'm used to. The only thing that's weird and different right now are the magazines are extremely small. So I need to order base plates. I really need to do that tonight if I'm going to have them in time for our match this coming Sunday. And then we're going to Illinois to train with Uncle Donnie the first weekend of February. So
there you go.
Yeah. So like I said, yeah, man, full on normal kit, I got the belt somewhere around here. I usually come in here and dry fire every night. I've been working on some things that I never thought I would adopt, but like scoop drawing has been new to me. Something I like just clicked and I started figuring out recently, and um, relearning how to dry fire the right way. Right, I haven't really dry fired in like 4 years that I can remember, like consistently, like I have. So like pushing that and what I need to work on. It's been a journey already, so I'm really excited for it, and kind of like Zach, I'm really hungry to do it this year. So
Right. Yeah, and that's good. And yeah, that's one of those things of a lot of people don't know how to dry fire properly. Like, not everything's got to be super tactical gamer, right? But it's dry firing the right way of doing certain things the proper. I shouldn't say right way, the proper way or the a better way. There's different
yeah.
different ways of learning and doing things. Um, but yeah, it's good to see. You guys got the drive and the fire back to go compete and shoot. You're gonna shoot some majors. But, I've, you've mentioned this before, and I wanted to hit on it before I lose it. Why do you prefer a plastic grip 2011 over a metal grip 2011?
Part of it is because that's just what I'm used to. Uh, I can't leave anything alone, so modifying them to my taste is also something I prefer. The design was based around that, right? So I'm also very, as much as weird and as counterintuitive as it sounds, we do modify guns, but I also would like to keep as much of the OEM engineering that there was with it, right? Now, there's definitely merit to guns like you shoot, like true open guns with comps and ports. Throwing
Mhm,
another 20-ounce metal steel grip on there is beneficial. But for what we do, right, what we see mostly, like these regular 2011s on the wall that don't have all the extreme compensators and ports, what we're doing to them definitely does tone the gun down a little bit. But I personally have felt like, like the platypus over here to my right, left, this one,
yeah,
um, and like even the little open gun above it, it just doesn't feel the same. It's just more harsh in hand with just
mhm,
like standard like guns like that. So I don't. And the biggest thing for me on metal grips is I've never found one up until recently, which is what's on this gun, a grip that I've liked that's metal. Um, the one over here is just, it's been the nicest feeling grip I've ever held. That's metal. So I don't like the Chilis. I think they're too like wide.
mhm,
Um, especially being a grip guy primarily, like I'm very stingy and on how a grip feels to me. And most of the time, I feel like 2011 metal grips are over accentuated in certain areas where they shouldn't be. So some people like it, some people don't. It's kind of like the Chili to me feels like it's trying to be like a CZ Shadow 2 grip.
mhm,
And I don't like that. So it's just a big combination of those things. I just, I also like to stipple them and make them look cool. So the plastic grips are obviously more fun for me. Um, but from a race gun perspective, I would probably, if I had a true race gun, it would have a metal grip.
mhm,
Um, the other gun that I had the pleasure of shooting for a good amount of time was forget the actual sub model, but it was a Limcat open gun. I think it was JJ Ricaz's open gun, and then Twista bought it, and then Twista sent it with Tony.
mhm.
Then I got to shoot at demo day and that I fell in love with that gun.
Yeah,
Uh, so the Limcat grip feels really good in my hands. So it's kind of the same geometry as this one up over to the corner here.
you know why that? Because Limcat grips are made for Filipino hands.
Yeah, yeah, they got them short Asian hands, man. So
Yeah. Did you pimp out that? Did you color pimp out that Limcat?
no,
Or
no, it was
can
just that's how it was, man. I'm pretty sure it was JJ's, and then Twista bought it.
dude, Twista
Um,
buys everything. Like
yeah,
he's like, ooh, shiny, ooh, shiny.
yeah. He told me he was like, I'm gonna send because he asked me if I kept it, and I was like, why would I keep your gun? I sent it back with Tony. He's like, all right, I'm gonna get it back to you. You can hang on to it for a little bit and shoot it. I'm like, are you serious right now? I was like, um, Don't do that. Please don't do that.
Because it won't come back.
Because it won't come back.
Or it'll start having cuts in
Yeah.
it.
Yeah. No, I wouldn't cut it. It's on the to-do list. I'm definitely an open shooter through and through, I think. Just my style, the way that I attack things. So if we get deeper into this and I do decide to, it's been the same MO. I can never justify getting one, even though I have guns back here that could equal an open gun. It's just still not the same to me, because there's just more nuance to it, right? You get an open gun, now you have to start loading ammo, and it's just something I don't want to get too deep into. I know there's some companies and people that I have made business relationships with that make 9mm ammo ready to go, major ammo to go. So, I mean, if I could find a way where I don't have to load ammo and get into a gun at the right price, I would love to shoot open, like open major, like actual open major. So open miner's fun. I like the challenge, but like realistically, it's just not the place to be. It sucks. It sucks so bad.
Yeah, I can imagine that. You know, you have the open gun heart, but not the like for me a while it was I've got the open gun heart, but not the pocketbook.
Right.
And it's like, how the fuck do I make this happen? Now, I'm really surprised that, I mean, SIG probably patented this, but you know how they did the tungsten infused grip module? I'm surprised nobody tried doing that with a 2011. So you still get the plastic feel, but with the weight of the metal.
Yeah, I'm on the fence, and I haven't gotten a 100% true answer from anyone like reliable. If you look at a SIG module that's tungsten infused, I've been told that it is, but there's also a very, very thick tungsten weight inside those grips as well. So I don't know if it's 100% because it's infused, because it cuts and burns pretty normal. You would think that something infused with tungsten wouldn't cut or burn very well, but it cuts and burns just fine.
Yeah,
So it makes me wonder if it actually is infused and they're just saying that, but they really have like a heavy ass weight in the gun to make it heavy.
I have
So I
comments
don't
on
know.
that, but I can't say that in a public forum. So remind me when we cut this that I talked to you.
Okay.
But anywho, yeah, I would think it'd be super cool though. Like just like I like the feel of the SIG. Like my wife, that's what she shoots is she actually shoots the X carry model because we got a smoking deal on it, which is just the threaded barrel version. That's the shorter slide, shorter barrel, but it's threaded. So it's super awkward, but shit. SIGs are so oversprung, you have to like change the spring. The better question is, could you air rack a SIG?
I honestly, probably not.
Yeah.
I haven't done too much air racking as of late. I think it was kind of like back when I was first doing it, it was cool. Now it's kind of like everyone can do it.
Right.
It's almost cringy now.
A little bit.
People who I know that like me and do that don't be mad, but that's why people do it now. I think it's kind of more of a flex. However, Tanner, 2 Alpha Tanner, could definitely air rack it. He can air rack anything. Did you see that post that Ryan posted today?
Yeah, and then the other guy's hurt with
it.
it. The other guy's got his shirt off. He's hurt. I was teaching Ryan how to teaching Tanner how to air rack. I'm like,
yeah, that dude's just built different. He can air rack a truck. It's crazy.
Yeah, I don't know if people haven't taught me the right technique to air rack. I can't do it.
Yeah,
but I'm not
it's definitely a push pull motion. And it has to do with like physics and stuff. I don't know, but like if you start getting into like these heavy spring guns, it's harder for sure. My shoulder can't take that. I'm getting old.
Yeah. So so the new so we'll touch this base about this. The new staccato came out or is coming out, right? The HD. Yep. Has anyone sent you one yet?
Not yet. I kind of made a post on my Instagram or in a story that the first one to get me the 4.5 would get the works done for free because I want to get one as soon as possible. Definitely was like I heard some things through the grapevine. It was kind of like super quiet. I know there were a lot of NDAs and stuff floating around, and then all of a sudden, like, as the drop got closer, more information started to leak. And when one of my good sources told me what the new gun was going to be, I almost didn't believe him. And then the leak happened, and I was just like, holy shit. Completely different departure. But then I started to, at least from my source, learn that, well, I'm pretty sure it's common knowledge too, but like the shift of the platform was due to a lot of internal changes from like the CEO and marketing team and stuff like that. Um, Changing hands again, so they just went a completely different direction, and it makes sense, right? It's just weird because like again, the 2011 was like introduced in the 90s, and it's just weird to see it completely change
Mm-hmm.
uh, from the place that innovated it and pioneered it, for lack of a better term, for them to completely go completely opposite of what they were known for. But again, when that gun first came out, everything's based off of a 45 caliber mag tube, so, and that was always the issue. So for them, I honestly thought it was going to be the like the Staccato C over here, the new one with the smaller magazines. When they dropped their full size grip in 2024, I 100% believe that they were going to switch over to this like V3 grip and V3 style magazine across the board and get rid of the wider magazine. I did not see the Glock mag coming, for sure. That was definitely a shock. But and I kind of touched on it too.
Mm-hmm.
Not to take anything away from Staccato, but until I see one, I'm only assuming based off of what I know, what I've seen in the past. A lot of what they're introducing in their new gun isn't anything new as far as tech is concerned, in my opinion. So,
Right, just a new flavor of how the tech's laid out, it seems like.
yep, yep. I mean, Series 80-ish style gun, right? That's nothing new. Ambi safeties is kind of new for sure on a 2011. But the 2311 from Oracle did that, years prior. And a lot of the other stuff is pretty interesting. They're going with wider optic cuts. SVI's been doing that for years. So,
Mhm.
I get it. It's definitely innovative and new for Staccato. But I'm going to be the bad guy here and say it's not that new to me. It's just all in one place now. So, but that's how the gun industry works.
Yeah. It just seems crazy to me, that they make magazines, yet they're gonna sell a gun that doesn't take their magazine.
Yeah, well, the idea is again, like, they're, from what I've been told, they can't make the magazines quick enough. Whoever they're getting them made from, or if they're making them, that's the question, right? If Checkmate's making them for them, or if they're making them in house, not sure. Um, I think they're tired of having to keep up with demand on magazines, so they just decided to go the route of, well, there's Glock mags everywhere, and Stealth Arms and Fusion Firearms prove that you can build a gun. Now, granted, without knowing how soon this project started, because I don't think they just pulled this out of their ass. Um, that's always the funny conversation to have, and hopefully I can find someone to kind of give me more insight at some point of when they just actually started designing this gun, right? Because the Platypus came out and made big waves in 2024. Um, and I would almost bet that the HD series of guns were like either in beta or at least on paper in the same time frame. So it's just a
Mhm.
timing thing, maybe. I don't know. It's hard telling.
Right, exactly.
So
Now, so I think Tony's told me this, but the Platypus loads better with a plastic magazine, not like a Glock MBX mag. Um, is that mag release is it gonna does it have something in the mag release to not beat the plastic up of the mag tube?
no, I'm pretty sure I'm pretty sure the Platypus has a metal mag release, and I don't think it has. Yeah, it looks metal. So um
That's such a cool gun. How you have that, and then it's like in the raw
yeah.
or
So
raw
Tim,
ish.
these guys are from Ohio.
Hmm.
Um, Talked to Tim a lot in the background, and he flew his helicopter out to the shop, and then eventually finally got me one. And I was like, he's like, how do you want it? I was like, I want an RMR cut. I want no front sight cuts, but send me a front sight because I'm gonna comp it, and don't paint it. He's like, okay. Because originally I was going to paint it. So I just like, don't worry about painting it. We're going to paint it. And when I got it, and I was like, yeah, that thing's baller just the way it looks. So I left it alone for a while, but then it started to rust. So then I had to refinish it and spray the slide and clear to keep it from rusting. So, but it's in raw form, but it is clear coated now. So it's a cool gun, man. I need to get more time behind it for content and the YouTube stuff, but I've had enough experience with them to kind of know that they do work. Um, it's a 1911 that uses a Glock mag, so the
Yeah.
formula isn't stupid.
I've shot one of theirs. Tony has it. It's the blue and pink one. I think it's Jackie's gun, but it's the blue and pink one that I got to shoot. And that thing was it tracked real. Those guns shoot pretty good.
Yeah, they shoot pretty good for a an all aluminum frame gun. It's definitely on the lighter side as far as a double stack 1911 is concerned, for sure.
Oh, 100%.
But I have a very sinking suspicion. I haven't talked to him about it, but I would almost put money on Stealth coming out with a all steel frame at SHOT Show this year. I'd almost bet on it.
Yeah. You're not going to SHOT Show, are you?
Nah, we never do. Maybe when we move to the new shop, I just can't justify the cost incurred to go. We don't really have anything at SHOT Show from a business perspective to justify the costs or see an ROI to go. You know how all that stuff works, especially with the sponsorship side of majors, of like trying to prove or show the ROI of going to things, and it's just not there for us. Like I would rather save the money or have that money available to me to pay my guys than go spend a couple days in Vegas and chop it up with some dudes that we're going to see anyway at some point, right? So,
Right.
from a business side, there's just nothing there for us. That being said, I do want to take the guys to let them experience it at least once. It's cool, but I don't know how guys go every year that just go, right? If you're going as a business, it's different, but like they're just like the dudes that are like, yeah, going to SHOT Show again. Why are you going to SHOT Show again? So
Right. Well, I've talked about this. Like, there's an episode going to drop tomorrow. We're recording this the 19th, so the 20th it'll drop. It's with Justine Williams. We talk about it a little bit about the people who shouldn't be at SHOT Show, right?
Yeah.
Like the dude who's like, "Oh, my buddy owns a shop. That's why I'm here." I'm like, "Oh, so you're his plus one in taking up valid floor space for somebody actually to do their job."
Mm-hmm.
And it's one of those reasons. Like, I should go to a SHOT Show, but I'm also like, I don't think I belong at a SHOT Show. It's kind of that weird. It's that weird feeling, right?
I think you could, for you, I think you could benefit from it, right? And I've had this conversation too with one of my buddies that I would consider a very good mentor, that's been in the industry a long time. And he even said, he's like, you don't got to go every year, but you do got to show up. You got to show. And this could just be him talking about it in an old school manner because he's an old school guy. And the way it kind of he laid it out to me is like appearances are a thing. Like you need to show the world that you're doing well. You need to show the world that things are going good. And showing up every once in a while isn't a bad thing. But I also see the other side of it, right? So like I can see the benefit of me going by myself. I'm just being more giving about it, and I want to take everyone with me. But realistically, like me going would probably be more beneficial. Just me going by myself. The cost then wouldn't be as crazy, because there are like some people that it would probably benefit me in the long run to go say hi, talk to people that I've never met that we do business with, right? There's plenty of those people that'll be there, and probably the only place where I could go have access to them in one spot, right? So there's definitely benefits there. And I took that to heart. I might try to go just myself at least next year and make those connections come around full circle. But like, even for you, right? Not too much competitive stuff at SHOT Show, I would say, at least that I've seen. but that doesn't necessarily mean that our kind of people or your kind of people aren't going to be available there. And you never know, maybe you could figure out a way to, and outside of either one, making the connection and being like, hey, this is who I am, this is what I do, I would love to have you on the show, and make that connection there with someone, that you would either not have access to any other way. Or even, I've seen people like, I think it's Ironsight Podcast, do podcast in a hotel room with them right then and there later on that evening or something. So like, I think it could be beneficial for you in the show for sure. Like at the end of the day, I would say a majority of the people at SHOT Show walking around on the floor are just regular people. So it's people that are just there to look at cool, shiny new objects and doodads and stuff. And, there's plenty of those people out there, versus the actual people trying to make business connections or, whatever to propel their platform or whatever they're trying to do. I think it'd be good for you too if you went. So, and if you've never been, it's pretty cool. It's fun.
Tony and I have been talking about it, but with his current life situation right now, it wasn't in the cards for him to go either. So it's the plan to go. I'm trying to make time for it. That's for sure. So we'll see. Yeah. I just still have that like weird imposter syndrome of like, should I really be here kind of thing. So it's
sure. I still do too. It's just like, there's really nothing here for me to gain from being here other than seeing everyone that I know, and that's just the other side of it too. Like, people do want to see us. They want to see the team and everyone out there. And like I said, I would prefer to go with the guys that can go, and that financially it can make some sense to go, because I think it'd be more fun. The first time I went, I was by myself for the most part, and I also didn't have as many contacts or knew as many people back then. This was 2020 was the first time I went to SHOT Show, and this was also before like Monsoon was really, up and off the ground. So like, I didn't have anyone when I went to SHOT Show. I was just wandering around aimlessly, just kind of like, ooh, this is cool. And after day 5, I was over it, because I was there kind of on business with a prior employer, trying to help them look for certain things, as well as like just doing my own thing. And it was fun for the first couple days, and then it just was like, I'm ready to leave, like right now.
right now.
right now.
My dogs need me. I gotta go home.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, that's true. Maybe one of these days, and then I can go hang out at the Circle Bar and go have a beer.
Yep.
Or not, because it's gonna be crowded as shit. Everyone hangs out at the Circle Bar.
Mm-hmm.
What happens at the Circle Bar stays at the Circle Bar, unless you got beat up by a milk crate. But yeah, so yeah, the Monsoon business is going well. You guys had a hell of a Black Friday, right?
Yeah, man, it's been like I said, 3 years now, running Monsoon, the LLC, on its own, with the help of Zach and the other guys at the shop. And every year, we're doing better, we're growing more, so this Black Friday is kind of like the Black Friday is always kind of the Super Bowl for us, as far as like, this is the only time that we do a sale throughout the entire year.
Mm-hmm.
For us, we're just that busy throughout the normal year that we can't afford to do a sale, is like, counterproductive as that sounds. I would prefer to be in a more comfortable position, than be greedy and selfish and bury my guys with work, because we're just, too busy. Because like, at the end of the day, sales like that generate work orders.
Mm-hmm.
And for us, we've just come to kind of like this thing where, for a lot of our customers and people that follow us, they know that Black Friday is normally when we start to drop any new, products or services that we've been working on. And it's the only time that we offer any kind of discount throughout the entire year. So we normally get crushed. And then this year it was, well, for any year, we kind of dictate the pace on how long the sale goes for, right? And when we first did it, I think we had it live for 3 days or something like that, and then it slowly got less and less. last year was 48 hours, and this year was 24 hours. We decided we had to shut it down. So like within the first, because it went live at 6, like within the first 30 seconds to 2 minutes of the sale, they crashed the website. We had like a record 60 plus orders in within a first 5-minute span, and then from there it just took off, and me and Zach are sitting back laughing like, okay, well, how long do we let it go for? And he's like, dude, I don't know. If we don't shut it off in 24 hours, we might be hurting. So same mentality even with the sale. We want to turn it off when it makes sense and not get too overwhelmed, because the other reality is with our queue system, everything's based off of when your order was placed. So now we have 170 plus orders or 160 plus orders that are all within 24 hours of each other. So now we got to play that logistical nightmare game and try to get everything out in a timely manner. So it was good. I always say how Black Friday always gives me a little bit of anxiety, because I'm hoping it does as good, if not better, than the year before. And every year the expectation gets blown out of the water. So then going into next year, I don't know what to really expect. So it was good, man. Business is good. Can't complain. Got a good crew behind me. Got a good group of guys shooting for us that are really putting in some work. So I can't complain, man. It's been great. It's been a very interesting ride so far since the last time we had a conversation.
Oh yeah, and it's been evolving and growing, and it's good to see. I'm always glad to see your goofy ass stories on my story feed, because they're pretty hilarious. Like you're talking about the staccato, and I'm like, the face that you make at the end of it is like, yes, that was fucking priceless. That was the whole worth it, right? It's like I love seeing your guys' content. I love seeing the guys out at matches. It'll be good to see you out there this year with the crew at the facility. I'll be out there tearing it up. So. It's always going to be a good time, 100% on the range. So that'll be cool.
Yeah, we've had a couple people reach out. I mean, now that we kind of understand how the game's played a little bit from the perspective of sponsoring matches and stuff. I think the plan is to be at Buckeye Blast this year, like as a sponsor. My plan is to shoot it, right? As well as have the guys there to showcase what we do. We'll have to kind of pay a little bit more attention and kind of bring some things that are things that we do, and then some other guns that we have definitely done for, like Ryan and all those other dudes that are more in line with the event that we're at, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because bringing a bunch of ported crazy guns is something most people aren't going to look at least in the sport of USPSA, and be like, I need that. There's other disciplines you can absolutely use our stuff in, like IDPA and steel for sure, but and you could still use it again in the USPSA if you wanted to, but none of our guns are meant to shoot open major, right? So it'll be fun. It'll be interesting to be in that place of competition shooting as a sponsor, given what we do. So that'll be fun this year. And I think Falling Steel reached out to us and asked kind of the same thing, which what we do would absolutely tailor to that demographic of shooting for sure.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah, I shot that match. I shot it one of the Columbus matches there. I quite enjoyed it. I talked to Corey Shield about some of his rules, but nothing too scary. But
yeah, I wish they would let you draw if you're shooting like center fire guns, pistols. It's kind of weird. I don't know. I just like the element from being able to draw from my belt and stuff. So if you're gonna let me reload from my belt, let me draw the gun from my belt.
Yeah,
big boy rules. If there's someone new, I get it, but at the same time, treat it like Steel Challenge a little bit.
Yeah, and I was telling him, like, I took my wife. She shot it. She could only finish one of the stages, and I'm just like, the penalties were too ridiculous.
Harsh.
Yeah. So I already time out at 60 seconds or whatever. Pretty much I'm timing out at 60 seconds plus every standing plate. It's like, do I want, like, if I was an average consumer, oh man, I was at the bottom, but I only shot half the plates.
Right. Yeah.
So
Yeah, they should just let you take as long as you need to shoot them. The timeout thing, because I know that the guy uh who came up with it he's like a GM, right, in
hmm
PCC.
Yep.
So yeah, he's like pushing the speed aspect of it, which is fun. Like I go and like every time that they have the Columbus match, I normally win an open center fire open.
hmm
I get the little payout. I get the little checks. I can frame them up and like put them places because I won money shooting. It's kind of cool. Uh, but yeah, I mean, there's some things about it's a new sport. They'll hopefully evolve and listen to the people that shoot it and take that for what it's worth, and make some changes. But it's fun. I like shooting steel. Steel is definitely one of my favorite games to play. So it was fun. It's definitely a cool shooting sport for sure. It's cool to see all the different new variations coming out. So
Oh, 100%. Yeah, I like it. But it's definitely in my mind, it's definitely a PCC game. It's a rifle game,
yeah,
but
yep.
it's because a
I'd
rifle
have to
guy
go back
designed
and
it.
look and see how I did up against most of the PCC dudes, but all the higher level guys, yeah, you just can't compete normally. But um, I was doing pretty well for sure, at least from what I can remember, shooting a center fire gun. Um, one of them are up here. I can't remember when I was shooting, but it was like a Grandmaster Genghis Comp 2011. So it was those kind of guns are perfect for IDPA and steel, like
hmm
100%. So I wish USPSA would make like a open minor division.
Right.
It'd be so cool. It'd be great.
It would be
I mean,
pretty
they
cool.
have it, but like its own actual, even if it was what do they call it, like a subcategory or something.
Right. Recognize the craziest guy who spent open gun money on not an open gun.
Yeah. Well, they don't have to be. I mean, a ported Glock puts you in open minor.
I
So
mean, this is true, but typically it's usually the guys. Well, I don't know. What's we'll before we wrap this is my last question, and then we'll pinch it off. But what gun brand or model is the most popular that comes through the shop?
without looking at my paper, I would say the most consistent and most popular gun that we get in mass is definitely Staccato.
Right.
Um, from there, like our most popular modification is Lucky Sevens. But that obviously can be adapted to like almost any platform that has the proper length to it. But as like a actual like I know this specific brand, definitely Staccato.
hmm
And then after that, I would say MMPs and PDPs are very popular. And then just like the Walthers in general, like the steel frame guns and stuff, because we've been doing a lot of grip chops and recoats and stuff for the dudes shooting those guns in carry optics because they hate the beaver tail.
hmm
So definitely a lot of Walthers, definitely a lot of MMPs, uh, mainly staccatos. 2011s in general, I would say we're heaviest on because there are quite a few of them, and not a lot of people are used to working on those. So
Right. Exactly. And it's what's your bread and butter, and it's how you pay the
yep,
bills, right?
yep.
But yeah. But Vinny, if people want to reach out to you, they want to talk to you, they want to send in a gun or buy a T-shirt, where they got to go?
Yeah, so monsoontactical.com is our main website where you can find all the services that we offer, right? Just take a scroll through there, check our FAQ out, see our queue system works. If you have any questions, you can always reach me via email at monsoon.tactical@gmail.com, or you can even reach our main guy, customer service, zach.monsoontactical@gmail.com. And then my IG, monsoon_tactical. That's the business page, but I run it. It's also a personal page, in my opinion. Most of the time, I'm pretty accessible via DM through there. And then Mayfu Tendencies is our merch brand, so it's where you can pick up all of our merch.
Well, boom, guys, go to the websites, go get on the queue, go get a T-shirt with a waifu. It's all gonna be good. But Vinny, brother, thank you for hanging out with me and chit chatting again. It's always a good time to catch back up.
Yeah, dude, I've always enjoyed this kind of format. So thanks for having me on. Hopefully we can do it again.
Oh, absolutely. Now, everybody, like I say in every show, get out and do the things. I'm gonna see you on the next one.